welcome to my video. So today I've decided to make another video to update you on my isolation experience and to kind of remind you that I'm still here and you're not alone, and we're all having bad days. I've had a few recently, but I've also really learnt a few good tricks on how to pick up your bad days, and I wanted to make this video to kind of share those with you and keep up that reminder that you're not alone, and yeah, to help as many people as I can. So I know I haven't made a video for a few weeks now. I've been trying to be as positive as I can and post as much as I can and try and help people out. But yeah, no, I have really been struggling, and I'm not gonna hide away from that. So I do want to be quite honest here and say I know I've been giving out a lot of advice to people, and I've received so many messages saying like, oh, thank you for this, thank you for your videos, it's so nice to know someone knows how I feel. And that's exactly what I wanted. Like, I think I've made this clear from the start, but I don't make these videos because I feel like I can make you better, because like, how can I say that when I struggle myself? Exactly what I wanted was for people to just feel like they're not alone. So even if I'm not helping you much in terms of my advice, which I try to follow myself too, but I know it's hard. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting what I wanted, where I'm just kind of making people realise and know that they're not alone through this, and that there are so many people out there that do feel the same as us, and we are going to get through it, but it is just a really hard time. So yeah, I'm just wanting to say that because I'm really happy with the response that I've been getting, and it just makes me really excited to know that I'm making people feel less alone throughout this. Because I feel like if I had to pick one word to say how I felt, I would say lonely. And from someone who's got like such a great group of friends and such a great boyfriend, I feel lonely regardless. Like, because even though you can talk to people on FaceTime, you can text people, I'm someone that just needs that human contact. I need affection and love, and I just have to feel like I'm there in the moment to really feel happy. And I think a lot of us are the same. That's why I think there's so many of us struggling, even people that didn't have mental health conditions pre-existing to this. I think there's a lot of people that are probably surprised that they feel so rubbish. So today I'm going to speak about a technique that I learned from my therapist last week, and I absolutely, like, I'm going to be honest here, when I have therapy sometimes I'll do a session and I'll be like, that was pointless, it was a waste of money. I don't know, sometimes I just feel like the session isn't very productive, and I've given up on therapy quite a few times, and I've had so many different therapists, and I think it's really easy to kind of just give up on things and be like, oh no, it's not working. And I felt like that the week before with my therapist, and I thought, oh, I'm not getting anywhere. She's telling me to do this and do that. I can't, I'm too depressed. I feel too low for this to work. And yeah, I kind of gave up on myself, and I thought, no. It got to the day of my next therapy, and I was like, oh, I can't cancel on her, like, it's out of order, so I'll just do it. And I think that one turned out to be one of the best therapy sessions I've ever had, and I took away more than I ever have in my life from a therapy session, just from this little metaphor. So I'm going to try and do it with you now, because she did a test on me, basically to see how your mind works. And I've tried it on a few of my friends, and it actually worked exactly the same. Like, the ones that don't struggle with anxiety did exactly what I didn't do, and vice versa. So it really did work. So I'm just going to say it now, so you can try and do it. If not, I'm sorry to waste like a minute of your time. But so if you close your eyes, and I'm going to be quiet for like 10-20 seconds, and I just want you to imagine the horizon with a tiger there. So just the horizon with a tiger. Okay, and now if I were to ask you, what did you see? So when I said think about the horizon with a tiger, did you see something like, I don't know, like a horizon that you see that you're used to seeing, so maybe the one that you usually see outside, or just a plain horizon, whatever you see, whether it's a sea, land. And then I think some of you will have seen just a tiger, like maybe the face of a tiger or the body of a tiger just stuck onto it, as if someone had like cut it out and just stuck it onto the horizon. It was just there. So a person that does that would typically be someone that doesn't really suffer with anxiety and catastrophizing especially. I did not picture this, and if you did, you're probably someone that finds that they don't catastrophize and that are quite good at kind of living in the moment and not picking out the worst things about situations. So I didn't do that, and I reckon some of you didn't. So when my therapist said to me, "Oh, what did you see?" I was like, okay, so I saw the horizon. It was a field with all yellow flowers. It was like sunny day, and then there was a tiger pacing up and down the horizon. It was like walking left and right and changing direction. And she was like, okay, so that is a typical mind of someone that's catastrophizes and someone that's anxious. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she said, I just told you to think of the horizon with a tiger. So you should, like, your mind should just do that. You should be able to just think about what you were told to think. She basically said that I dressed up the situation, so I made so much more of what the actual situation should have been. So I should have just seen the tiger in the horizon, but no, mine was walking up and down. I saw all these different flowers, I saw this and saw that. And of course, like, it's a good thing to have an imagination, and I'm not saying don't at all. She was just kind of using that as a metaphor with like maybe how I've been dealing with the lockdown a little bit. So say, rather than just looking at the fact that we have these 3 to 6 weeks or however long it'll be of this is happening and there's nothing we can do about it, I haven't really been able to do that very well, and I've dressed up the situation and I've made myself feel really unloved and unwanted, and like people don't like want to see me, and I don't know, I really dressed it up, just like I did with the tiger situation, and like a lot of you probably did. I really dressed up, I'm really dressing it up, so I'm finding it hard to kind of break it back down and just teach myself that this is something that is happening and I can't do anything about it. And what I can try and do, the only thing I can try and do is just make a positive for me out of the situation and get somewhere. So like doing these videos for you or getting some work done. So she kind of showed me in a really good way how I dress things up and why I do it, and like how it can happen so easily. So an exercise that she taught me to stop doing this, she basically taught me that when a thought comes into your brain, I think we get 6,500 thoughts a day. And when a thought comes into your brain, we should allow the thought in, accept the thought, and then let it pass through. And what people who like overthink or are depressed or are really struggling, they will let the thought come into their head, and then the thought will sit there and they will undress that thought and they will dress it up, or they will pick it apart, and that thought will completely consume them. And that's what I do really easily. So she basically said, imagine you're standing at a train station, and when you're standing there and the fast trains shoot past you, you have to imagine your negative thought. Say mine is, this lockdown is never ever going to end. I'm not going to get through this. So that thought usually would come into my head, and my stomach would sink, and I'd cry, and it would consume me, and it would be a bad day. I would get nothing else done, and I would feel so low. And it's like a scary low, and it's not a nice feeling, and you just feel so lost in it. So she said, stand at the station. When them fast trains go past you, that needs to be the negative thoughts going through your brain. So I literally have been closing my eyes, and I see that thought written out in words on the train. And as it goes, and I watch the train go by, and it comes in, and I think, yeah, this is a bad thought, it's not nice, I can't change this, and you let it go through. So I've genuinely been visualising these thoughts going through and then back out of my mind. And when she first told me to do this on the phone, I tried, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that hasn't worked. Like, no, didn't work for me. I couldn't imagine it, because it's not a visual thought, it's words. And that's when she was like, see the words, like that's what you're thinking anyway, see that, or see the image, or however you can picture it in the best way you can, see that and let it go through your brain. And I hung up thinking, oh yeah, I don't know if I can really do that. And then honestly, every single day, every single hour since that session, which has been a week today, I have done that with my bad thoughts. And I had a bad day yesterday where I felt really, really depressed all day. I felt really low. I tried to have like nice FaceTimes and nice phone calls with my friends and my boyfriend, but all I could do was cry and just feel so negative. But the fact that I only had that day once in 7 days, and all the other days, out of them 6,500 thoughts I had, I managed to let all of them come into my brain, all of the bad ones come into my brain, and I let them go straight back out again. And honestly, the fact that I've done so much uni work this week, because I was able to let things slide straight out and not take hold of me, the fact that I've done all that and I've only had one bad day, like that extra bad night that I had last night, I am so happy that at the rate that they're declining. So obviously it's not going to work all the time, and you're going to have really bad days. You are, and you're going to have days where you feel exhausted and that you can't practice any of these good techniques that you know. But as long as you accept those days and you say, look, okay, this is happening, I'm human, I can have a bad day, I can have a bad moment, I can have a bad hour. As long as on other days you're trying your best, on the days when you don't feel so low and so crippled by this, on them days, if you're trying your best and trying to use these techniques, then I promise you that you won't feel as bad on them bad days. So when I had a bad day yesterday, usually I would feel so guilty on top of the sadness. I would feel guilty for not getting any work done and like not being productive and stuff. And yesterday I didn't have that extra guilt on top of me, because I knew that on the other days where I had succeeded in pushing my thoughts away, I'd also succeeded in getting things done. So as long as on the days where you're good, you can take them extra steps forward, then you won't have to feel like the guilt over you when you have the days where you can't make these steps. I can write this out for you if it's a bit simpler, or I can draw some diagrams if you would like me to. Or maybe I can help you think of some different metaphors if that one doesn't quite work for you. But I'm so here for trying anything. If you want me to try and adapt things for you or help you, like I get so much joy out of helping people, and obviously it's what I want to do. I want to go into forensic psychology, so I know I want to help people that need it. I want to work in settings of people, work out why they're doing what they do, and like obviously the repercussions of it, and trying to figure out why people's brains work in the way they do. So yeah, that is what I want to do, and I feel like this is why I feel so passionate about helping people, because it makes me feel so good in myself, even if I'm having a bad day. I think sometimes people say to me, like, if you're feeling so low, you need to stop giving all you've got to other people to try and help them. And I get where they're coming from, and obviously you can't pour from an empty glass, and I do stand by that completely. But also, in my opinion, what fills my glass up, apart from the self-love, which I have been trying to do, like I've literally been like trying to hug myself. So like I was in the bath yesterday and I was crying and I felt really rubbish. And I was sitting there, and usually I'll think, I literally hate myself, I hate being me, I hate this. And instead yesterday I literally sat there like this in the bath and I was crying. And I thought, you know what, usually I'd tear myself down now and I would just get worse. I literally just put my arms around my legs, like just hugged myself. And I thought, you know what, like, yeah, I can't get that contact with other people, but there's one person that I will never be able to leave is myself, and I can always count on that. And it's kind of something that I never really realised before. I know I've heard it and I know it, but I've never really realised it. And yesterday I felt like, do you know what, your number one fan is yourself. Like, you can do this, like, you can do this, and you've got yourself this whole time. No one can take that away from you. You are you. So that really helped me. And yesterday, so I just feel like, yeah, you can't pour from an empty cup, and I'm trying to fill that cup with self-love. But another thing for me that fills up my cup is helping other people. It makes me so happy inside, and it makes me feel, I don't know, like just really fulfilled. So don't feel like because I'm struggling, you can't come to me because you don't want to make me feel low. Honestly, it really does lift me up, being able to help other people. And obviously it reminds me too that I'm not alone, because as much as I preach it, I know it's impossible not to feel it sometimes. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It means so much to me to be able to do this, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go with me starting the YouTube, but I've had so many messages from people thanking me and telling me that I am helping them get through this time. So I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep uploading until I'm told not to, but I just love that I'm able to help people, and it's helping me remember that I'm not alone and that we can do this. I've had an awful 48 hours, I've been in a really bad place, and I've been putting off filming this video because I couldn't even get myself like out of bed, or I mean, I know I don't look presentable now, but more so than I did yesterday. I want you to know that because I'm uploading these positive videos and I upload a lot of positive quotes on Instagram, I am really in a dark place too, and you're not alone, and you can, on these up moments, you can really pull everything you can out of that good energy you have and make the most out of it. And I just, yeah. But yeah, I'm just so glad that I'm able to help people out there, and please don't hesitate to message me if you need anything. It means everything, and yes, you're not alone. Thank you.